You heard about this baby reindeer?
Oh my God.
Speaking of abuse, man, this baby reindeer went straight ham,
Bro.
right off the bat.
Bro.
I was locked in the first 5 minutes, bro.
Yo, the fact that this shit was a true story.
A true story.
That was
not
wild
even
to
based
me.
on a true story.
That was wild
Not
to
even
me.
based on true events. That
Right.
shit said, this is a true story.
Right.
That shit is crazy.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know where to start, man, when it comes to this, man. Because, you know, the story starts out, he's just a regular dude. Bartending.
Richard Gadd is his name. And let me just add in before you get into it, let me just add in that Richard Gadd is based on his true story. He plays the main character of himself.
Yeah.
They're in London, UK, somewhere over there. He's Scottish, and he works at this bar. The story is based on him and his encounter with what's the lady's name? Lindsay, remind me of the Martha.
Yeah.
Martha and Richard developed this bartender customer relationship, and from there it just gets crazy.
Right. For me, man, a lot of it it's sad. A lot of it is kind of like, it just goes to show you that in this world, we always look at men being the stalkers of women.
Yes, we do.
But to see this, a woman being the stalker to a man, and then him going to the police station, they're not believing him.
They're not believing him, yep.
It just goes to show you, like, yo, bro, like, it goes both ways.
It does.
It goes both ways, man. And it's just really funny how, they thought it was like a laughing matter, a joke, like, oh, yeah, a woman stalking you or whatever.
Why didn't you come sooner?
Right. Why didn't you come sooner? And, I have some gripes with Richard because I feel like he could have nipped the whole thing in the butt in the beginning.
I agree.
In the beginning, because in the beginning of the show, she shows up to the bar and she comes every single day.
Every day for hours and hours and hours on end. Is that not a little peculiar to you? Like, nah, it is,
I don't understand.
At least you gotta raise your eyebrow, bro.
Yeah.
And then she finds his email very soon on.
Right.
She finds his email through his website.
Right.
And begins to email him over 100 times a day.
That's
day one. Emergency.
Right, bro. So my whole thing is just like, she's there. She comes to the bar every day, and every day she's sending you 100 emails plus. Come on, fam. Come on.
The writing's on the wall.
Come on, man. Like, so I feel like, Richard enjoyed it. He liked it. I think he fed in to the intention that Martha was giving him.
I agree with that. Yeah. I think he liked it. And I think that it was filling a void for him. And sorry, y'all, spoiler alert. We're going to get into it.
Right.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Go watch Baby Reindeer. Right. But yeah, I agree that he enjoyed it. It was filling a void for him. Because she even said, what happened to you? She saw it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
She saw it. And then he just kind of started playing along with the emails. He kind of started playing along with her being in the bar, not charging her for, her drinks, telling her he's going to hang her curtains and all these sexual innuendos. And you kind of put this on yourself a little bit, Richard.
Right. For me, man, like, the crazy part for me was like, this lady, she found out where he lived at.
And
she sat at the bus stop every single day and night, bro. Like, that shit is crazy. It was freezing outside.
Raining.
She had fucking booger icicles on her nose and shit. Like, I'm like, yo, lady. And like, he came through with the napkin and just fucking patted her nose and shit. I was just like, yo, bro, this is crazy. Like, and I think it's a part of also Richard was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was.
He was a nice person. He had a kind heart, and he had a good heart. And I think that just came back and backfired, man. And I felt like, since he was also abused and went through certain things, I felt that he looked at Martha as a kind of like a shining light in his life. But at the same time, it was kind of like, yo, bro, like you're enabling the stalking.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You are.
He didn't help it until, he tried to move on with his life and found love elsewhere. And that's when he tried to push it away. But at that point, it was too late.
It was too late. And that's the part I want to talk about because, it happens in the industry. Like you said, Lil Rod, right?
Right.
So Lil Rod got abused. And now it comes out later on in the season that Richard had met. So Richard is an aspiring comedian.
Correct.
Trying to break into the entertainment industry out there in the UK. And he meets this guy who is a writer or like a head producer of a show.
Yeah.
He came to one of his comedy shows, taking a liking to Richard. And, Richard started to gravitate him because he, promising like, I'll get you in front of these people. I'll get you these meetings. I'll get you on these shows. And in the midst of all that, him and Richard started spending some alone time together. And what happens next? He starts drugging Richard.
Right.
Richard starts waking up at his apartment. Richard starts becoming hooked on, I believe he was giving him heroin. He was giving him a bunch of stuff.
He was giving him everything.
Yeah, he was giving him a bunch of stuff. GHB.
Yeah.
Heroin. He got him meth. He got him all drugged up. And you see the process from a predator to prey. You see the process that it takes to lure somebody in. You see the process it takes to groom somebody to get them to do what you want.
Correct.
From if you're coming from a negative standpoint. And it was damning for me because being in this industry, you hear and see a lot of different stories, right?
Correct.
And what is even more mind-blowing is that we talk about a lot of women like Cassie. We talk about a lot of women who have been, sexually assaulted, the Me Too movement, Harvey Weinstein, Russell Simmons, all those people. We very rarely talk about when it happens to men.
Correct.
Men on men, women on men, however, it shakes out. But it is a real thing where men are getting drugged. Men are getting sexually assaulted. Men are getting lured with the promise that, I can help your career. We hear about the Kevin Spacey cases, right? And all these men that he has been accused to have abused. And that's the most eye-opening part of this series for me was when Richard's experience with, I believe the character's name was Darian. And it really opened my eyes, and we don't talk about it a lot. But there are so many cases where this happens, and it just gets swept under the rug. Shout out to Lil Rod for speaking his truth, and shout out to all the people who come out against the Kevin Spaceys of the world. But I think that this needs to be talked about more because it happens to men a lot more than we even think about.
No, for sure. I do. Watching this, it did make me think of the things that Lil Rod went through, because if you don't watch this and, from the outside looking in, you would laugh and be like, you know what? Like, Lil Rod is full of shit, or he's lying, you know what I mean? But like watching this and seeing this show play out in front of me, it made me definitely think of it and go, damn, like maybe he wasn't lying,
Yeah.
And, and a part of me that struggles is that people want their career and want success so bad that they're willing to endure so much shit.